Hey folks, Duke Does here. Welcome back to my channel. Um, so I have an issue with my martial arts training that I've been trying to figure out over the weekend, and I thought I'd make a video on the solution I came up with. And the style of Kenpo actually helped me figure out what the issue was. Now, many of you know that I have an affliction for Silat, the martial art. And I know very little of it. In fact, I only know maybe two of the lankas, which are found within Salat. And the one that I know really well, there's something missing within it. And I didn't really notice it when I first learned it. But what I'll do is I'll show you the lanka, the part of it that I know. And then I'll show you how Kenpo fix the issue of the technique. Now, it's from a right bow stance. Your opponent is going to throw a right lunge punch. I'm going to parry using a poxal. Then I'm going to come under using a tonsal. And that's going to turn into a C-hand grab. From here, I grab the opponent's arm and institute a elbow to their elbow, which is going to hyperextend the elbow. I'm doing a push and pull action. Then I'm in kind of a modified horse stance here, by the way. Not a full one, almost into a, because if I turn this way, I'm back into that right bow stance. So I'm in my, I guess you could call it a closed horse stance, okay? So I'm in this modified horse stance. I'm performing the C-hand grab and the elbow, which will lift up the opponent. Then this hand is going to circle around their arm and hook. And as I hook that arm, my right hand is going to shoot for the back of their head and grab, and then I'm going to force their head down into a knee. Okay? Now, the technique looks pretty good for the way it is. See, it flows pretty well. But here's the problem. As I perform that snaking hand and hooking the arm, even though I have that arm trapped, his other hand can still be a problem. How do I deal with that issue? So what I do is everything is the same except when I hook that arm, I need to cancel his line of attack. I've already canceled his height by hooking that arm. His head is dropped just a little bit. So before I shoot for the back of his head, what I want to do is throw what they call a sword hand in Kenpo, basically a knife hand. I want to throw it to the side of his neck. And what that'll do is that'll stop any attack he might throw. Okay? So I throw that sword hand. From there, I can just shift my hand up to the back of their head. Then I can grab and force their head into my knee, back into a right bow stance. As you can see, the problem is solved. And it took a lot of, I had to go back and watch some videos on my old style of Kenpo to get the answer. The style of Kenpo I studied is Go Shinjitsu. And I learned it from Master Scott Willis. And one thing I like about Kenpo is it's ever changing. Same way in slot. Um, Once you learn the lankas in slot, you can actually free flow off of the main lanka. And Kenpo had the ability to do that as well. Because what another thing I could do off of that technique, let me go through it again. Now, instead of the sword hand, what I could do is I could throw an what they call an eagle punch to the temple, which would also cancel out any attack he might make. And then from there, just simply go to the back of the head. Or I can do this. After I circle and snap that arm, lock it out, I can actually throw a ridge hand to the neck, forcing his head back. Then I can slide off of that down into a palm strike, or I can come off of that and come into a palm strike to the groin, grab, pull him off his feet. So there's a lot I can do with that, and that's why Kenpo can be a filler for your martial art, any art you know. And it's also one of the nice things about knowing another martial art, because your martial art, whether you haven't learned that particular system yet, or the whole of that system yet, or there's something missing in your training, or it's not in your system and you want to fill that gap, knowing another martial art can help fill that gap. And that's one of the bonuses of knowing another martial art, is that it can fill in the gaps within your original art. My original art is Taekwondo, and I'm not saying there's anything bad about Taekwondo. It has some of the best kicks in the martial arts. Problem is, they lack hand techniques and groin attacks. So I had to find other arts to fill in those things that Taekwondo is missing. Another thing Taekwondo is missing is grappling. Now, they have joint locks, but as far as grappling goes, it's very basic. And I wanted to fill that in as well, because you have to understand that me being disabled, I cannot kick. I can barely throw a knee. So I need hand techniques that will fill the gap of me not being able to kick. So I had to study other styles like Wing Chun, Kenpo, Salat, Arnis de Mano, Hung Gar, Chole Fu, Bantay Kung Fu, many different martial arts, just to find things that would fill the needs for my original art. I still practice Taekwondo. It's still my original art. It's just I know other things. And having that knowledge can be a benefit. And knowing, as they say in the G.I. Joe cartoon, is half the battle. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment what you liked about it, what you didn't like, and open a dialogue about what you know and what you use to fill the gaps of your art. This is Duger Does saying do good and deuces. Bye-bye.